is showing us that the long distance issue, which was climate change, spoken as if it was going to happen in 2050, is already with us today. And what the science is telling us in reports, for example, there is a report that the UN Environment released called the Emissions Gap Report, which is showing us that the amount of carbon dioxide or greenhouse gases in the atmosphere are mounting up, they're increasing. And so the temperatures are now at 1.1 degree globally. That means that we are already living with a changing climate, and the evidence from a scientific perspective is glaring to each and every one of us.
In my school, we do recycling class. What if everyone did recycling right? Will the world be different?
Cycling to school is an important aspect. Recycling, reusing what you already have is an opportunity, especially if the world was to move away from plastics and embrace non-plastic bags or non-plastic bottles. We will be better off because the plastic ends up in oceans. And if we don't recycle what we use, we'll be putting a lot of pressure on the environment. And that will mean that we'll be destroying the environment and exposing ourselves to already calamities that are already happening today. So recycling, reusing what we have is the best opportunity to be able to reduce our footprint on the environment and at the same time ensure that we can live in a healthy environment that will benefit each and everyone.
Is climate change caused by human activity?
Yes, it is caused by human activity from every indication. The cutting down of trees, deforestation, the utilization of what is called fossil fuels, the dirty gases that emit carbon dioxide into the atmosphere. All these things are resulting to the mounting changing climate in the name of what is called greenhouse gases, which includes carbon dioxide, which includes these aspects that if we don't reduce fossil fuels and use clean energy, we will be seeing a lot of this mounting of greenhouse gases in the atmosphere that will only continue to increase the heat and make the world more warmer. So the evidence is glaring as shown by the scientific reports, which are all out there, whether it is the UN Emission Gap Report or the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change report.
In school, we're learning about places like the Maldives, Venice, Jakarta, and New Orleans. I'm thinking, is this because of climate change?
Yes, the changing climate is going to submerge these small island cities. The Maldives you've mentioned, the sea level rise is going already, because what is the science is telling us is that if you take the continent of Africa sea level rise will be 10 times higher than the global mean. That means that small island states across the world will submerge as a result of the increasing sea level rise. And this is not only going to inflict pain, but it's actually going to cause nations disappear, which is a very dangerous thing, because young people in these nations, in these island states, whether it's the Maldives, the Seychelles, are going to disappear from the surface of the earth as a result of, or they're going to lose their countries, which is something that is just unimaginable.
Lastly, Dad, do you think that innovative volunteerism and everyday things like recycling and using paper instead of plastic that we all do you think small acts like cycling to school instead of driving if you live close and innovative volunteerism, do you think we can make a cleaner earth by doing small acts of recycling and going green?
Excellent question. Smaller acts, very important. That means each and every one of us have a role to play. You're 10 years old, someone who is 40 years old, 60 years old, all have to bring and put their hands on deck. That means that regardless of age, each and every one of us is important. The actions we take, whether you're 5 years old, 10 years old, 15 years, 20 years, all add up to bigger actions, because it is the small actions that result, collectively brought together, that result into bigger action. Because if we don't bring each and every one together, as the African proverb goes, if you've never spent a night with a mosquito, you will never know that little things matter. That means that if we don't despise ourselves, we will actually be doing